Alright, this video, or this lesson today is going to be fairly simple. There's a part at the end that does get a little bit tedious, but overall, it's a quick video. So today, all we're going to do is we're going to use a design process to solve a solution, and we're going to create an abstraction, which is, in other words, your own block. We'll start off by going over the first part, which is use a design process. This is something that comes out on the AP exam. And basically, all it is looking at a problem and going through the steps that you see on the screen. So we asked to identify the need and constraint, meaning what it is you need to do. We're going to go ahead and research the problem, meaning that you're going to get information over how to solve it. We're going to go ahead and imagine solutions, plan by selecting a promising solution, create a prototype, and then we're going to test. This is probably the most important one because today's lesson is going to have you look at a problem and find parameters or numbers that are going to give you a design that I'm going to show you right now. Alright, so first off, I'm going to start you off, and it's going to basically look like this. So in the beginning, we made a square. That was one of the first lessons that I gave out. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. But this time, instead of using A when the green flag is clicked, I'm going to go ahead and use A when spacebar is clicked. So I put that there. And just to make things easier, I'm going to go and create a loop. I'm going to repeat this 4 times. I'm going to motion, and I'm going to repeat moving 100 steps forward. I'll go ahead and put my pen down in the beginning there in the middle. And I'm going to turn 90 degrees to create a square. So motion, turn 90 degrees. Now I can press my spacebar and I should create a square. So there's my square. Looks like it's a little bit on the side. Notice if I want to be able to drag my sprite around, I can click here where it says draggable. If you do not have it clicked off, it won't drag around. I like to have it clicked off. So do it one more time, press the spacebar, and it creates a square. So your challenge is going to be to create the square. You know what? I shouldn't give you the next part yet. What I'm going to do now is basically just go to the second part of my objectives, which is create your own abstraction. That just means create your own block. So I'm going to add here. I'm just going to name it something like square. Under commands is fine. For all sprites is fine. I'm going to put mine under the motion folder just because that's where I decided to put it. But you can put it in any folder you'd like. I'm going to press OK. And I'm going to drag and drop that right inside. I'm going to press OK. Now at the very bottom, I have my square right here. So now I've just created my abstraction. Abstraction is the word that they use on the AP exam, so make sure that you recognize that abstraction just means your own block, right? Inside. So now I can press my spacebar and it creates a square like before, right? Your challenge is not only to create the square, but you're going to create a square with a circle inside. So I already have one made. And I'm not going to lie, it took me about half an hour to make this because there was, it's a little tedious on what numbers you have to put in, what angles you're going to turn, how many steps you're going to move forward. And also, they're not going to be whole numbers. So you might have to try point something, right? Like instead of maybe moving 100 steps, maybe 50 steps, maybe 8.5 steps. It gets a little tedious on what the numbers that you have to go ahead and put. But what I want you to do is create something like this. So it's a square with a fairly perfect circle inside. Again, it did take me a while, maybe like half an hour, but I think you guys can do it. It's not too difficult. You are probably going to need more repeat loops. You're probably going to need different numbers in here, right? And add on to the algorithm itself. So that's it for today's lesson. What I want you to do again is go ahead and create your own block that creates a perfect square, well, a fairly perfect square with a fairly perfect circle inside, like so. Right? Alright, and that's it for today. Make sure to get that done and turn it into the forms.